Good morning, traders. Njabulani Sobande here. It's a little before 6 o'clock, 21 July 2021. I'm about to do a full market scan again. Kicking it off as usual with ABSA. ABSA looking good. Still like, the tug of war between buyers and sellers around that 50-day exponential moving average. I'm looking for a close through that 137.20. That resistance there is holding quite strongly, and it did yesterday with that doji candle. So that tug of war is still happening there on ABSA. African Bank moving like a jamba. Almost actually missed this trade. So if you get through the 303 level, we'll be trading at new highs. If you can close through that level, I'll add to the position with a stop loss around that 293. We had a gap and drive yesterday. The gap didn't close, so that's looking fairly good. So if you can get through that 303 level, before this gap closes, I'll put my stop there at 293. In Platts, so I did trail my stop to through that gap as the stock broke through that 1921 resistance. I think it was 1919 when we looked at it the other day. So I just trailed my stop to 1765. So my risk is now reduced to about 0.7%, and I'm fairly comfortable with that. And unfortunately, with this trade, I can't just willy-nilly add to the position because there's a minimum lot size of 1. So yeah, I can't be adding to the position at this point in time. So above 2082, I'll be adding to the position and trail my stop behind me around that 188, 1885 level. Gold stock still being battered around. 50 period is still below. So moving right along. AB and Bev not looking very good. If you look at the weekly chart, still forming that nice ascending triangle pattern. But if you can get through the downtrend line there, just remove that. So if you can get through the downtrend line there, the stock is looking good. But at the moment, at least it's still making that higher lows, forming that ascending triangle base there. Aspen looking fairly good after that breakout there. And if we jump back to the daily chart, looking quite strong. I'll be adding to my position with a stop loss there at 165.90. Looking quite strong. And again, if you can get through the top of the new box at about 184, I'll look to add again to the position. Looking quite strong. Is Aspen looking fairly good, moving quite nicely as well. Astral Foods, I'm still battling with that 50-day exponential moving average in that 160 level. Looks like there's quite a huge seller there at that 160 level. So if you can get through, if that seller can step out, I'll add to the position with a stop loss around that 150, 151 level. AVI, no, nothing good is happening there, so moving right along. Balo, nice breakout today, yesterday rather. So I pulled my stop to that 103 level, and I'll be adding 5.9 shares on the trade. Looking quite strong, and I will add again above 114. I'm liking how Balo World is moving at the minute. BHP also moving quite nicely. So if you can get through that, let me see what that level is. 491 at the. If you can take out that higher box, if we can get through to a higher box. Commodities are moving quite strongly. Commodity stocks are moving quite nicely at the minute. So if you can get through that 491 level, I'll add to my position with a stop loss there at 462. I'll be sitting in a slight profit there, which means I can add a full 1% risk on this trade. Also, Bitcoin moving quite nicely, bouncing off that support there, holding that 50-day exponential moving average. So I wanted above that 331 level moving quite nicely in that direction. So I think if we can break the 322, yeah, we're looking good at the on the stock. But at the minute, I'm still looking for that 331.50 level. Bidvest moving quite good, that 198 it's coming over so slightly. I had a nice bullish engulfing candle yesterday, moving quite strongly. So if we can get through that 198 perhaps tomorrow, or rather today, I'll pull my stop and add to the position at 199.50. Capitec, I'm still holding that 50-day exponential moving average. Let's see if we can get through 1681, at which case I'll add to my position with a stop loss there at 1572. Richmond looking quite nice. Looks like that 180.89 is still holding. So yeah, let's see how long this persists. And if it persists for long enough, on a break above that level, I'll add to the position with a stop loss there at 180. Otherwise, I want it above that 194 level. Clicks, respecting that 267 level. Also moving quite decent. So if we can get through the 267 level, I'll add to my position. Rather, in fact, if we get through the 277 level, I'll be adding to my position and trailing my stop behind me. I'm liking how Clicks is moving at the minute. So if we can get through, I did add to my position when we got through that 263 level. So above 277, I'll look to add to my position, unless of course we get a proper reaction, and I above that 263, if that reaction around that level persists, I'll look to add on the break there. Coronation still battling with that 50-day exponential moving average, still a tough battle, but I think if we can break through that level, we're looking good. With a stop loss there at 46.70. This game still pretty much flat. We had a nice bullish engulfing candle yesterday. I wanted about that 32.50 level. But I'm liking the stock quite a bit. Distel looks like it wants to move back into a lower box, but I did move my stop to that 161.50 level. I'm liking this trade quite a bit. This trade has taught me quite a lot. I first picked up the share around that 72.50, and my stop loss is up, above 100% from that price. I'm liking Distel quite a bit. Exaro still look like there's quite a fair bit of selling there around that 183. So if you can take out that level and close through that level, 183 level, I'll add to my position with a stop loss there at 167 and some change. First Rand also looking fairly decent, still battling with that 50-day exponential moving average. So if you can break through that 53 Rand and some change resistance, I'll jump back into the trade with a stop loss around that 50 Rand 82. For Shini, I got taken out of this position as we took out those lows there, but I'm still comfortable. I'll jump back into the trade above that 159 level. Exaro also moving quite nicely, jumping into a higher box. I'll be trailing my stop and looking for more opportunities to add it to my position. Otherwise, above that 71 Rand level, I'll be adding to my position as it moves into a higher box. Goldfield's not nice. Growth Point, still battling with that 50-day exponential moving average. I'm waiting for that 15 Rand level. Implants, I did take the trade yesterday. Looking quite good. So above 270, I'll add again to the position with the stop loss just below that 50-day exponential moving average around that 242 level. You know, resources stocks, man. I'm you know, high fly, printing cash, results coming out strong recently. Yeah, we're looking good on these stocks, man. I'm looking good on these stocks. Investex also looking quite decent. Above 56 rand, I'll look to add. I'll add to my position with a stop loss of, forgot to put it back, of around 51 rand, just below that 50-day exponential moving average. Kumba also moving quite nicely. I'll be adding to this position. I did pull my stop to 717.20. Moving at new highs on Kumba. I'll be adding 1.3 shares with a stop loss there at 1.2. Moving quite strongly. And again, I'll add again to the position if we can get through 807. Yeah, commodities, like I said, man, moving quite nicely. You know, until the Standard Bank delisting offer is behind us, you know, I won't be looking much into Liberty. Life Healthcare, you know, still holding that 50-day exponential moving average quite strongly. I'm liking that quite a bit. So I wanted above that 24.50. If we can get through that level or add to my position with a stop loss around that 22.70. Mediclinic, that's not too good. Momentum looks like it is momentum. It's losing momentum, ironically. But I'm staying on the right side of that trend line there. Looks like it wants to come and test it. So if we can get back above the 20.40 level, I'll add it to my position with a stop loss wherever that swing low ends. If it ends here where it is, you know, my stop loss will be around that 18.96 level. Mondo also moving quite nicely. You know, I look to add to my position above that 427 level, unless of course we get a you know decent reaction there between now and then. Mr. Price, I did jump on it yesterday, moving quite nicely. You know, is Mr. Price currently holding the 216 level. So if we can get through that, perhaps, yeah, that's a much better. If we can close through 220, I'll conclude that we're moving into a higher level. In which case, I will add to my position with a stop loss there around that 203.10 level. MTN, looks like MTN is losing quite a bit of momentum on the upside, but you know, above that 108 level, I'll add to my position with a stop loss around that 50-day exponential moving average. You know, trailing it ever so slightly. Netbank, moving quite strongly into a new box, moving nicely, holding that 50-day exponential moving average. So I want it above that 174 level, at which point I will add to my position. Nippy Rock, no longer a rock star, but if we take out that low there, I want to be out of the position. I'd rather wait on the sidelines because the stock we could see the stock coming back to that 94 rand and some change, testing that 200-day exponential moving average. Netcare moving like a gem. So if we can get through 1542, I'll start building my position with a stop loss around that 1450 level. And again above 1590, I'll add again to the position there. Northern, you know, still battling with that 50-day exponential moving average. So above 237, you know, I'll start building my position with a stop loss around 204. Not looking quite nice, close below the 200-day exponential moving average. Pepco also moving quite decent. So if we can get through that 20.90, was waiting for this for the close through 2090 before I got stopped. But if we can get through that level, I'll add it to my position with a stop loss around that 1950 level. Quilter, we have a nice golden cross there, but I wanted above that 34 rand and some change. If we can get through 34 rand, we're looking good. We're looking good. I'll jump back into Quilter. Real Bafokeng, nice strong breakout yesterday. So I'll be adding 2.4 shares. I trail my stop to that 104 level, just below that 50-day exponential moving average. Real Bafokeng moving quite nicely. I want to add above that 118 level as well, moving quite nice. There is Real Bafokeng. Remgro still battling between that 200-day and the 50-day exponential moving average, so I'll wait for a close back above that 116 level. But for now, not exactly interested. Rand Merchant, I wanted above that 33 rand 50 level. Moving right along. SAPI holding that 200-day exponential moving average relatively well. They're coming back to retest it again. So if you can get through that 45 rand 24 level, I'll add to my position and trail my stop. For now, my stop loss is there around that 40 rand and some change, just below that 50-day exponential moving average. SAPI is moving fairly decently. Sasol still find itself in that bullish flag. Looks like that was a false break, but my stop hasn't been touched off. So if you can get through that 233 level, I'll be a breakout again. I'll add to the position with a stop loss around that 209 level. ShopRite moving steadily. It's just moving steadily. It's been pretty much flat between that 59 rand and 159 and 144ish. So if you can get through 162, I'll add to my position and trail my stop to just below that 50-day exponential moving average around 153. Let me see. I think my stop is not. Yeah, I thought one of my stop was not in a correct. In fact, a couple. So I want my stop. It's sent. Just. I want all my stops to be the same, man. Exactly the same number. There you go. So yeah, above that 162.60 level, I'll add it to my position. Sibanye finally broke the, but unconvincingly so, man, and broke the resistance and broke above the trend line there. So let me just remove that for a bit. So moving quite nicely. So I'll be buying myself some Sibanyes, 8.5 shares with a stop loss there at 54.60. Moving quite nicely. So again, I'm liking this share quite a bit. Liking this share quite a bit. Telkom is not looking very good. I think I'm getting stopped on this one. But we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. But I have a strong feeling that I'm getting stopped on this one. Tiger Brands, I suppose that that crisis that they recently have, they were in the news for not so good reasons again. That it didn't do the stock much good. Transaction capital moving quite nicely. So if you can break back above that 36 rand 80, I'll add to my position and move my stop ever so slightly to that 35.10. But the level that I'm really keenly waiting for is a close through that 34 rand 40 level. Truwords, Nice strong breakout yesterday. I'll be adding to my position. I'll be adding 8.7 shares with a stop loss there at 56.33. Yeah, moving quite nicely. I might have to recalculate that. Let me just double check. Something isn't making much sense. Was true words. Sorry guys, I'm just pulling my journal here, just recalculating that risk there. I don't want to be making 15, so my current risk is 32.43. But I think I did this. I think I did this right. 61. 45, 56, 33. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I did the math right. I'm gonna be buying myself 8.7 shares with a stop loss there at 56, 33 on Truwords. I'll be adding to my position there. Woolies. I want to add above that. Still yesterday we found the seller that was there stepped in again. So if we can get through that 55 and 78, I'll add it to my position with the stop loss there around that 51.40. And that was it. Top 40 looking good. Satrix 40 looking good, breaking that 63 rand level. Let's look at the index itself. Quite close to take out that 63 rand there. 63,000 point resistance. If we can get through that level, the top 40 we're looking good. We're looking very, very good. Otherwise, that's it. Some quick reminder: I'll be buying Aspen, Balo, Kumba, Sibanye, and Truwords and Real Bafokeng. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for me today. Be sure to remember to subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification button so that you don't miss any of these videos. I try to do them daily. Otherwise, have a great Friday, man. I'll do another one doing the entries later today. When the bell rings. Get down in the comment section down below if you have a question. Just pop me an email in villagetrader.co.za or in the comment section down below with the supposed timestamp of where your question is and the question, of course, or the chart. And if you have a question on specific charts, feel free to drop me an email in villagetrader.co.za. Otherwise, yeah, man, that's it. We'll check you again a bit later. Cheers.